So, those people claimed that they were rich, you know, and I would not want to gain the world and lose my soul. So, like I said before, when they said that it was their world, whatever bad karma they made is the bad karma that they made, you know. I have a marriage license with the date of April 30th, 2004. And somehow it was very mean to me on the date of April 30th, 2004, before and after, you know. It's crazy because I believe in God, and believing in God, and I believe that, all religions are telling the truth about something, whether they call it religion, spirituality, or faith, or whatever they call it. When I was growing up, they said that the address was 2715 Avenue E. The first day was a Valentine's Day, and I went there to meet a girl. And when I went there, it was nighttime. And she didn't really say anything. So, there would be phone calls and talking on the phone. And when I went back over there, because I went there a lot, it seemed like, it would be different personalities. I'm not sure if it was the same person every time or any of it because, it looked like the same person, but I seen different people that looked like the same way. One of those people seemed like they had a different religion because one of the people said that she fucked the tooth and was having his baby. And she kicked me. She kicked me in my penis, in my balls area, you know, of my growing, you know. And it was crazy because when she said that, I was like, well, she must have a different religion because since I believe that, children are not supposed to be, having sex with grown people, and then when you have a child, it's supposed to be after your marriage, you have a marriage license. Children are supposed to be born according to my religion after the date of the marriage license. So, it's been questions about the identity of those people because if one of those people said that she fucked the tooth, had sex with him, and was having his baby, you know, I never heard of her being married to him or any of that stuff or a marriage license for her and him. So, obviously she must have a different religion because she would have been saying that she believes in having children without a marriage license before getting married or without getting married at all. So whatever bad karma that they made, I did not want any part of the bad karma that they made. Whoever, had sex with some guy that they called Toot or something and was not married to him and wanted to have a baby with him. They said it was a man or something like that. I don't really know, part of the crazy stuff that I was told, and it's part of the reason why, I've been so confused and paranoid, and I really don't trust a lot of people, because somebody, tried to hurt my feelings and make me feel bad and stuff like that. They said that it was some different kind of Islam that they were practicing where they was worshiping the devil or D-Jinn. It was like DJINN or JINN. They said it was some kind of evil spirit or something like a tooth Larry, like TUTE and LARY, like a tooth Larry or something. I don't know. Somebody teaching somebody a lesson or something like this. It's crazy. And then, some of those people would go to tutoring or tutoring. I don't know. It's something about a ring or something. And I was told that you wasn't really supposed to have those rings because it was something about the rings of Saturn, and that when you go to get a marriage license and stuff, you don't need they don't need to, you don't even have to have a ring and stuff like that. It really has nothing to do with being married, like having a ring or something like that. Because when you go to the courthouse or to those places, you don't really have to have a ring at all. It's crazy. And so I didn't know all of this stuff back then. And so, like, looking back on it, you may see something you didn't see before. So, what I wanted to say about those courthouses and stuff like that, there was a guy, when they called him Jay or J Rock or stuff like that, or Jay and stuff. And people tried to say that he was our brother and stuff like that. He went to the army or something like that and went to Texas and places like that. He abused me and molested me when I was a child. He abused a lot of people. It was this European woman, this European lady, and her name was Jen. I think her name was Jennifer. And it was at a house, 1520 65th Street in the Green Acres neighborhood of Birmingham, Alabama. They tried to get rid of the evidence and they tried to burn that house down for insurance money. It was sometime between 1996 and those years. And they tried to get rid of me too, with a so-called car accident. They said it was attempted murder and stuff. During that time, they said that dude that called himself Jay or J Rock, those people that call themselves Jay, those types of people. The ones that get girls pregnant and stuff like that without being married to them and stuff like that. Doesn't really care. There was a bedroom, and it was supposed to be the room, that I was in. There was another guy in the room, and they made him leave. I don't know where he was, but the girl that the European woman, the European lady, her name was Jennifer. You know, I don't know what the connection was to any of this, but they said that the J dude, the J Rock dude, Jay had got her pregnant. They said he had got a lot of people pregnant. They said he had beat up girls, made them have miscarriages and stuff like that, and that they were known for like causing fires. They said it was a store in Bessemer called Frank's or Fourth Avenue Supermarket, and that he had burnt the store down. It was the same situation in 1996 when they said that, they had set that house on fire. When that European woman got mad at Jay and the family, J Rock, whatever he calls himself, Antoine Johnson, or all of that, they said she was in the army too. I don't know if she was a general or an attorney general or related to any of those people. But I'm not like him. Like, it's just because someone says someone is someone's brother, you know. his character doesn't match the character of me. Because whenever I was around a European lady, a European woman, a European person, I never, got them pregnant or abused them sexually or caused them to have a miscarriage or, you know, used them for sex or any of that stuff and then tried to humiliate them or their family. I didn't want any of the bad karma that Jay, as we called himself, made with Jen or Jennifer. They called her Jen, you know. Because there was one time they was going to the movies, It was a dog there, and the dog, they had this puppy, and it was called Taz. They called the dog Taz. And they was going to the movies one day, and they was like, "What movies are you going to see?" She like, she want to go see Coneheads. She was like, "She want to go see Coneheads." So they went to go see this movie called Coneheads. Is what they said. It was a girl. She was like a lady, a woman. She was an army soldier. Her name was Jennifer, I believe. Jen. Some people said that, her family got mad at the people that they said was my family. But they didn't know back then, because I was so young that, by the time that I growed up, and I'm older than the age that, they were then, that actually I'm totally different from those people, and I did not do what they did. I did not abuse any of her European brothers or sisters. Because when they went through their family tree and they looked at their bloodline, they realized that out of all of their European brothers and out of all of their European sisters, I never fought any of them. I never prostituted any of them because I was never a pimp, you know. I never got any of them pregnant, I never gave any of them any germs or diseases because, since I did not ever have, skin to skin sexual contact with any of them, it's not my fault what Jay did to Jen, and he is not part of the same religion that I am a part of. And so I don't know what kind of God or what kind of religion he has. But, since I was there, I apologized to Jen, you know, Jennifer, you know, and, her European brothers and sisters for any of the trouble that J Rock, and his family may have caused her and her family and the child, the unborn child, and the children, because I don't even know if that child was ever born. I don't know if it was an abortion or if it was a miscarriage or what happened. But when a guy meets a girl in the military, in the army, in those places, and he brings her home, and you know, I don't know what was wrong with Jay, J Rock, Antoine, Jeremy, whatever names he uses, He said that he hates the smell of a woman, is what he said. I heard him say that. And they said that, he liked men and he had a boyfriend, some guy named Brooke, and that they would use women, you know, as baby making machines and stepping stones to fame and fortune and, you know, higher positions of power. Stuff like that, is what was told to me. I was never looking for one of those positions of power or fame or fortune. So, once again, I apologize to that lady, that European woman, Jennifer, whatever her name was, Jen. I never knew, what her actual last name was because, for some reason that guy would always say that he was going to marry those people and he did not. He would just get them pregnant, and I don't even really know what would happen after that. It's crazy because, there was a guy named Brandon that would be there. And it's crazy because it's so confusing because she would probably say the same thing, that there was a guy named Brandon that was there. But no, there was a European guy named Brandon that would be there. I don't know why he used their European brothers and sisters for those bad reasons, but it was not me, you know, because it's crazy because, some people say that Brandon is a European name, and that, if you look at my birth certificate and stuff like that, and you look at my actual life, it'd be like he never actually abused, any of their European brothers or sisters. And I don't really know why, those people, that said they were our family tried to teach me bad stuff, and tried to make me feel bad, about the stuff that they did to people. Oh, and that stuff about them doing to people and stuff like that. So, when I met this girl, it was people that were saying that, since the guy that was be with Jay, the guy called himself Aldwin, Audwin and stuff like that. He had a thing for like underage girls with the name Williams, because Kimaya Williams and her birthday, the date of Kimaya Williams' birth, I think it was February 14th, 1996. It's crazy. Those Valentine's Day traditions. It was reported that Aldwin was actually, supposedly at least 18 years of age or older, so he was old enough to get married. I guess he did not have the family's blessing or any of that, because since he was old enough to get married and all the parents had to do was, approve of it, he did not get married to one of Williams, and Kimaya Williams was born, you know, to a underage teenage mom, and her mom was still in middle school, Tawana Williams was still in middle school. It was crazy. And the Aldrin dude ran off with the J dude, the J Rock dude, I don't know. Sometimes they say they call him Jeremy, J Rock, J that different identities, like, they say they sold out, they sold their soul a long time ago and stuff like that, and tried to get me to do it too. But I said no. I didn't want to do what they did. So, when they did that, they said that those Williams families, people, those underage girls like Tawana Williams, some of the people said it may be, you know, some kind of bad karma that they made, because when I went to 2715 Avenue E. Hensley, some of the people said that they believed that those underage Williams girls, that it was set up for me to go there, and that, I was being used and set up the whole time, possibly, you know, and that a lot of those girls were girls that they had already used, people like J Rock and stuff, and all of those people, whether they called them Jeremy, whether they called them G or Lil G or Aaron or Toot or stuff like that. It's like I was a victim of a system that was, abusing females and underage children, and it's not my fault, that I was just a sucker for love, and that I felt like I loved a lot of different people, actual real love, to where I did not have sex, and I did not get them pregnant, and I did not abuse any other females or make them into single mothers. It's just that in my heart and in my soul and in my mind, I would feel a lot of love and a lot of, passion, and I would care, about what would actually happen to them in the long run, you know, then and now and stuff like that. And I never really understood. I never really understood why the people would say that someone else would have to have sex with them and have a child with them first, or someone else would have to have sex with them and get them pregnant first, and then you can have a girlfriend. That's the part that I didn't understand. And then later on, when it was like, if the girl did not have a virginity, and if the girl did not, have, a cherry, they was talking about how people, they say when they take her virginity, they say they bust her cherry, or they say they destroyed her, or they say they smashed, stuff like that. Later on, they tried to use that against her, and they tried to use that against me. They tried to say that, okay, since the girl possibly did not have virginity or any of that when you met her, well, you can just have one of the nieces or the other children, from the single mothers. And I'm like, no, because those children are underage. And they was like, but that's the only way that you can have a virgin. It's the only way that you can, have a girl's virginity. She has to be really, really young. So it's crazy because some of the people said, that's why they would get the girls pregnant because they had already promised those girls vagina and their virginity to other men, grown guys that they said was rich and had a lot of money and, could make them famous. And, it was something about witches and witchcraft and people that said they were pastors and police officers and doctors and governors, mayors, all these false claims, and like they would say that they had their own state, they would call themselves names like Maine or Germain. It always had a J or a G in it. Sometimes they would just call them Lil J or Lil G or G or J, you know, and those identities, they would say that they were rappers and producers and stuff like that. And it would be some connection between them and going to Texas. It had something to do with Texas, Atlanta, New York, and California. They would always claim they were either from those places. They would either say they were from Texas or they were going to Texas. They would say they was from California or they came from California and was going there. They would say they were from New York or came from New York. And, you know, sometimes, the girls, because one of the girls was, her name was Gonzalez, they would claim that they were from or associated with Mexico a lot. So, it doesn't mean that everyone, from those places were a part of it. It's just telling the truth of where they said they were from. So, like I said, someone, did something bad and did something wrong. Because, one of the girls said that she believes in having sex and children without being married because she said she had sex with a guy named Toot. And she said she was having his baby. And I don't know why she would tell me something, to try to trigger me or make me mad. Like, I wasn't really in a war or in a religious battle with any of them because, they kept telling me that, like, one of the girls told me that, that she likes Toot and she likes Rico. And Toot is not the same color as me. Rico is not the same color as me. She wanted me to feel bad about the color of myself, my skin. But if she likes Toot in the color of his skin, if she likes Rico in the color of his skin, then she should make a video and tell everyone about how she loves it, instead of trying to use me, as, I don't know. But I'm just speaking of what I was told, so I'm not really speaking for her, of those people. So, we're saying all these, to say that, there were different people, and from different places that, tried to influence me this color or that color or this color or those colors. And, I like all the colors. I don't really have a favorite color. They're all my favorite colors. That's why, like, I would always wear all those colors on my stitches and stuff like that and stuff. And it's just crazy. So, when I was in the family court, and it was made known that on August 31st, 2004, I said that I did not want to have any more children after August 31st, 2004. Someone disrespected me in my marriage, and, I wasn't treated like a husband. and I wasn't treated like, a dad, and I wasn't treated, with respect, because someone listened to someone else and they respected and loved someone else more, because when I said I only wanted, one child, and I did not want any more children after August 31st, 2004, someone said, you know, they wanted the child that was born on August 31st, 2004 to have a brother and a sister, you know, because those were the children, Lord Gerald Johnson, July 18th, 2006, you know, and I was told that, when the girl told me that she was pregnant, that she did it on purpose for Yatrell, and that when Lord Gerald Johnson went to foster care, that she told me that she got pregnant, with Trinity for Lord Gerald to get out of foster care so that Yatrell can have a brother back with him. But by doing that, he would also have a sister because Trinity was born. So they said it was all about Yatrell having a brother and a sister. And if he is like 18 years of age, old enough, you know, legally old enough for a marriage, then I'm kind of confused and I'm kind of lost because I don't know what he's supposed to do or what the family is supposed to do, because when they put all that trust and all that faith in a baby that was born on August 31st, 2004, I really don't understand, like, what they expected of him or me or anyone for that matter. It's crazy, you know. So, some of the people said, like, different people use the name and the identity of April Williams, whether it was here or there or somewhere, and that since I'm crazy and I'm stupid and like I'm dumb, like, and that I was abused and I was basically molested before and after April 30th, 2004, and no one wants to like openly take the blame for whatever they did, but with those birth certificates and with those identities of Yatrell Johnson, Lord Gerald Johnson, and Trinity Johnson, according to the family court of Jefferson County, they said that, the mom would have to explain or file something in court, as far as those situations are concerned, because, I did not chose for any of those situations to happen like that, and it was not my choice, you know, because, when I said that one child, I did not choose for a child, to, be treated more than me. I did not choose for a child, to be treated like the head of the family, the head of my marriage, the person that the whole relationship was all about. That is not what I chose when I said what I said. I did not say for a child to take over my marriage, to rule over my relationship, to have a brother and a sister, and to, be treated like God. I did not ask for a child to have all of those, different positions and stuff like that. It's crazy. So, it's part of the reason why I'm confused, because it's actually against my religion for a child, even if it was my own child, just like they said on August 31st, 2004. The child was not supposed to be treated like God. The child was not supposed to be treated like, the most important person in the world, to where it was all about him having a brother and all about him having a sister and all about him, you know. And, I was told that I was done wrong, because it's not what I asked for, I did not ask for a child, to be made into the most important part of my life, you know, because my wife would be the most important person, you know, in the marriage. In the same way as the husband, I would be the most important person to her in the marriage. So I was told that, yeah, there's something wrong with the whole situation of what was done before and after August 31st, 2004. And, I don't really have the answers to other people's decisions and other people's choices. And, I apologize for any of the damage or any of the trouble that was caused from other people's choices and other people's advice and other people's, desires, And I'm not suicidal and I'm not a threat to myself or others. And, I'm just glad to know that I did my job.